Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Howard. President Sullivan, Vice President Perro, Chairman Bockelman, Vice Chairperson Bastardi, honorable members of the Board of Aldermen and School Committee, Superintendent Parentozzi, honored guests, friends, family, and fellow citizens, good evening. I would like to begin this evening with a heartfelt thank you to the people of Somerville for the opportunity to serve as your mayor for the last 4 years, and for the honor you have done me by awarding me another term in office. I also want to offer my thanks to the bright, committed individuals, both paid and volunteer, who work so hard for our city and its people. And as I do every year, I want to tell my family, my wife Nancy, our sons Cosmo, Joseph, and Patrick, my mother Maria, my grandmother, 94 years young, and my sister Maria, who's watching from home, how much I love them, depend on them, and draw my inspiration from their care and their support. The joy my family gives me is a constant reminder of why we all work so hard to build a community that every Somerville family can be proud to live in. A city whose diversity, quality of life, and can-do spirit are cherished by all of its residents. My hope for everyone here tonight and everyone watching at home is that the new year brings each of you and all those dear to you a full measure of the blessing, inspiration, and love I receive from my home and my family. Tonight, we come together for a very special purpose. This inauguration is more than just the swearing in of our newly elected officials. It is a reaffirmation of the principles of our democratic government, of the idea that a community is more than a collection of self-interested individuals, of our shared belief that we are responsible for one another, and that there is a thing as the common good. Tonight, we should also celebrate the change for the better that has reshaped the political and social landscape of our city, because it is only when we join together that we can move forward. And tonight, I can report that the people of Somerville have come together, and the city of Somerville is moving forward. Somerville has rarely been so united and so committed to a shared vision of where we are and where we're going. Our community is stronger and more prosperous, and our city government is more accessible and more responsive than at any time in our history. And that credit must go to all of the people of this great city. Because as Louis Brandeis said, the most important political office is that of a private citizen. For without the support and active engagement of our citizens, no progress is possible. Tonight, I intend to call upon this city and its people to continue our successful efforts to make Somerville the best community it can be, to swing for the fences with all the confidence and optimism of a city that has already overcome adversity and has learned how to succeed. Tonight, I will describe the actions we are taking and the investments and innovations we will make to ensure that Somerville continues to live up to its designation by the Boston Globe magazine as the model city, a community in which pragmatic environmentalism, advanced technology, and principles of smart growth help preserve our diverse neighborhoods while we build a better future for ourselves and our children. Over the past 4 years, we have strengthened our commercial tax base, improved our education system, the magnificent new school, laid the foundation for an ambitious environmental and energy conservation program, implemented major reforms in the police department, increased the ranks and the resources of our fire department, and found new ways to improve constituent service and communication across the face of city government. We have also reinvested in the 1,001 details of urban life that residents notice and appreciate. We have repaved over 100 new streets, built or upgraded over a dozen parks and gardens, added schools of benches and bike racks, and planted hundreds of new trees. Somerville has become a model of best practices with a strong bond rating and a national reputation for excellence. And we have done all this while spending fewer tax dollars per capita than any city in Massachusetts with a population of 50,000 or more. Progress in 2007 was seen on all fronts, including the continuation of balanced, well-planned development at Assembly Square. The city has already seen over $42 million of growth in its commercial tax base as a result of this $1.6 billion project. Growth that will serve to further the shift the property tax burden away from residential taxpayers and onto commercial taxpayers. In addition, IKEA has received the necessary approvals in recent months to break ground this year on a specially designed urban store that will bring in additional tax revenue, as well as providing hundreds of good jobs for Somerville residents. We also began work this past year on a much-anticipated rehabilitation of Somerville Avenue, a project that, when complete in 2009, will provide crucial utility, water, sewer, public safety, and roadway enhancements along one of our city's most important gateway boulevards. And new construction, as you heard in 2007, wasn't limited solely to housing. Down the street from Union Square, the new Dr. Albert Argenziano Community School in Lincoln Park opened its doors in September. Anyone who has visited the Argenziano School will tell you it is a beautiful and beautifully functional facility that sets a new regional standard of excellence in design and development. I want to offer thanks on behalf of a grateful community to everyone who worked so hard to bring the Argenziano School home on time and under budget. It's a landmark achievement that will be appreciated by Somerville's families for generations to come. Of course, our shared vision for the future depends on far more than a vigorous economy. It also requires a healthy and safe environment. Transit may be an economic generator, but it also offers the promise of fewer cars on the roads, fewer tailpipe emissions, and better air quality for our community. For far too long, the residents of Somerville have had to put up with tens of thousands of daily vehicle trips that neither originate nor end in our city. For far too long, we have had to cope with the negative consequences of the removal decades ago of rail and trolley stops serving our squares and residential neighborhoods. We need and deserve the best transit resources our region can offer. That is why our city has sought and won a seat on the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and why we will seek even more and better public transportation program in the years to come. The Red Line was a good start. New Orange Line and Green Line service will be even better. But we must also press for a return of commuter rail to Somerville and for better, cleaner, and more frequent MBTA bus service throughout the city. But despite all the potential problems faced by Somerville and other cities, we still have many blessings to count as we begin 2008. Our people have united around a common vision. We have already come a long way toward making that vision a reality. Our efforts and strategies have been recognized, applauded, and in some cases, adopted by our peers. We know that we can accomplish great things even in a time of fiscal limits and pressures. And we have seen Somerville overcome adversity to improve its quality of life and its economic prosperity. Whatever challenges the future may hold, our way forward is clear and our feet are firmly on the right path. Somerville is already a great city, and we know how to make it even greater. Our work continues. Our hopes remain high, and we will not rest until our vision is fulfilled. Thank you very much.